Hi guys, we're only halfway through August and somehow my portfolio is already up 12%. That's right, 12%. And while the market has also been moving higher, my portfolio has been climbing significantly faster. But there is something even more interesting happening. A few weeks ago, I gave Grok and Claude 500 each, and now we are finally starting to see which AI actually knows what it's doing. So today, let's look at everything that happened during the first half of August, the portfolio, the trades, Grok versus Claude, and whether my questionable investment decisions are actually working. So let's start with the big picture. My portfolio is currently sitting at around $7,600, and my return for August so far is 12%. And that's honestly one of the strongest months I've had. And what's even more interesting in the comparison to the S&P 500, while the market is up only 4% over the same period, my portfolio is up more than 3 times that. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean I suddenly became a genius. One good month means almost nothing in investing, especially when most of my portfolio is concentrated in individual companies. But I'll definitely take it. Now let's talk about the experiment. At the beginning of this experiment, I gave Grok $500, and one of its biggest convictions was SMCY. And so far, the decision has aged pretty well. Grok originally had a larger position in SMCI. You can see it here. And so far, it made an interesting decision. It told me to sell 3 shares, not because the company suddenly became bad, but simply to lock in some profit. I followed the recommendation, and the trade generated $16 in realized profit. And here's the interesting part: I didn't sell the entire position. I kept the remaining shares, and right now those remaining SMCI shares are showing around $67 in unrealized profit. Grok also added SLB to the portfolio, and that position is currently showing another roughly $6 in unrealized profit. Let me check it. You can hear here. Grok's experiment is currently sitting around $90 in total profit. That's roughly 18% on the original 500. And remember, we are only halfway through the month. But Grok isn't the only AI I'm testing. Claude also got $500, and Claude went in a completely different direction. Its picks were Palantir, Tesla, NVDA, and Coinbase. Honestly, I actually like this portfolio. It's diversified across AI, technology, and crypto, but the performance so far isn't even close to Grok. The positions are currently showing around $17 in unrealized profit. That's approximately 3% on the original 500, which is not bad, but compared to Grok's roughly 18%, yeah, that's a pretty big difference. So here's where we stand right now. Grok around 18%, Cloud around 3%. And that means Grok is currently ahead by a pretty massive margin, but I'm not declaring a winner yet because this is investing and one stock can completely change these numbers in a single day. SMCI could crash, Nvidia could explode higher, Tesla could randomly do something completely insane, and suddenly Claude could be winning. That's exactly why I want to let this experiment run. Outside of the AI experiment, I've also been making some of my own trades. And at the end of the day, I'm still the one pressing the button. Looking at the portfolio overall, technology continues to be one of the biggest drives. However, semiconductors are not doing so well compared to others. That's completely normal. I'm not trying to build the safest portfolio possible. I'm trying to build a portfolio that can potentially grow aggressively over short term. And that means volatility comes with the territory. Some days I look like a genius. Other days I look like I should probably not be allowed near a brokerage account. That's vibe trading. But here's what I'm actually most interested in. The goal isn't to beat the S&P 500 every month. The goal isn't to prove that AI is better than humans. The goal is to learn. I'm testing different strategies, I'm testing AI, I'm testing my own instincts, and I'm documenting everything because if Grok wins, maybe I should start in listening to AI more. If Claude wins, maybe the slower approach works better. And if I win, well, maybe vibe trading isn't completely insane after all. So that's the first half of August. Portfolio almost reached $8,000. Monthly performance 12%, Grok around 18%, Claude around 3%, but we're only halfway there. The experiment continues, and I have absolutely no idea who's going to win. So, Grok or Claude? Who do you think will have the better portfolio by the end of the experiment? Let me know in the comments, and as always, road to 1 million, one wipe at a time.